Hello guys, welcome back to Tech Projects. I am back with another video and this is the fourth part of the quiz tutorial app, and this is going to be the final part of quiz app. And in this video, or we can say to the end of this video, we will complete our quiz app. So don't further delay, now let's start the video and see how to complete our quiz app. So I open my Android Studio and you can see this is quiz tutorial application. So if you don't watch previous three parts, then first I recommend you watch three previous parts. You can easily check the previous part in my Android playlist. Now here you can see, here I left my previous part where I simply assign an IDs to our text views. So now before writing the code, first let's declare some more text views. So I open my activity main XML file first to show you something. Like I have to change question also, I have to update this question number, I have to update this score number, and I also have to update this progress bar. I have to also check this whether which option user selected and what is the correct answer of that particular question. So for this I have to declare more text views like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 text view I have to declare, and one type of progress bar and one progress bar. So I open my main activity file and simply you can type here private, then text view. Now you can give any name, it is your choice. So I give first question number. This is for updating the question number. Now one text view is for question, to displaying the main question. One text view is for displaying the score, then semicolon. Now I have to declare two more text view for check out the answer, or we can say verify the answer. So I simply type a text view, then I simply give the name here checkout 1, checkout 2. But you can give any name, it is your choice. So why I type here checkout 1, checkout 2? Because checkout 1 hold the which option selected by the user, and checkout 2 hold the what is the correct answer of that particular question. So it will be help to clearly identify how the app works. So I take these two text view. So now after this, now take a int type variable which store the index of our array. So as you already know, if you watch the previous part, then I will tell you the logic how our quiz app work. We have to access our question using this array. So how we can access array? Using the array index. So I simply type declare a variable of int type, and simply I give the name current index. So I don't assign any value to this current index. So if I don't assign this value, then I am going to access, then it by default automatically contains 0. So don't worry. Now declare one more variable for storing the score. So I simply type here score, then I simply assign 0 inside this score variable. Now I declare one more variable for question number. So it will take the question number what is the current question. So I have to, so how I can proceed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I simply increment this number by 1. So simply declare it question number, and you can give any variable name, and I simply give it 1. And what is this? These are the text view which we are going to, on which we are going to display our values. So don't confuse between these and these. These are simple variables which help to update it, and these are the text view which help to display that values. So hopefully you understand everything. Now declare more variable. So now declare the variable for progress bar. So simply type here I type progress bar, then you can give any variable name. I simply type here progress bar again. After this, what you have to do, you have to declare one more variable which store the length of the progress bar, because we want to increment our progress bar step by step, or we can say according to our question length. So I simply type here final, because I want no one can change the progress bar after the code. So I simply declare it final type, then type int, then in capital simply type your variable name. I simply type here progress underscore bar equal. Now I am going to use math ceil function which help to return the ceiling value of math. So I simply type here math dot ceil, and inside this what I have to pass. So total length of progress bar, as you already know, the total length of any progress bar is 100. Then I have to divide by how much question inside our quiz app. So I contain 8 question. So I can simply type 8, but the best way to type this, like if you contain 20 question, if you add 50 questions, so it is always best to pass the array length. So what is our array name? Our array name is question bank. So I simply pass here question bank dot length, and you can see it working fine. Now taken semicolon here. Now it's shown error. So it's a illegal forward reference. So how we can solve this error? So it's a illegal forward reference means, like I use question bank here, but I declare that question bank after this. So it is not possible to use this line here. So simply I cut this line from here by using Ctrl+X, and then I simply paste the line below this array. So now you can see it working fine. Now it say one more error. So let's see. it say to required int type. So I simply type here cast to int, and you can see now the error is gone. So that's done. Now after doing these things, now it's time to assign the XML IDs into our Java IDs. So let's continue. First, I simply set the IDs inside our option A, option B. So now it's time to set a question. So question contain what it contain? Find view by ID r.id.question. So what is this question? So I come XML file, so you can see this is question, be remember. Now what I have to type on a score. So I simply type here score equal find view by ID r.id.score, then semicolon. Now this is our score. So and you can see I give the variable name score here. Now this variable name is contain question number, and this contain selected option and correct answer. So let's write again code. So now the second one is for question number. So simply type here question number equal find view ID r.id. and our XML ID name. Our XML ID name is question number. That's it. Now we assign the ID score, question number. Now last thing is left for our checkout function. So simply I type here checkout one equal find view ID r.id. selected option. So this text view is help to display the selected option which is selected by the user. Now the use checkout to, and checkout to is help to use find out which is the correct answer of that particular question. So I simply type here i.id. correct answer, then semicolon. Now the last ID is left for progress bar. So simply I type here progress bar equal find view ID r.id. progress bar. That's done. Now it's time to write the coding. So after assigning every values to this, so whenever our app runs, so as you already know, whenever our app runs, first of all these codes start running below this set content view r.layout.activity main. So these codes start running. So whenever our app runs, what we want to display? First of all, we want to display our progress bar set to null, score set to 0, and also we have to set the question number 1 and slash and then the total number of questions, and we have to display our first question with their options. So how we can do this? So first of all, I simply type here, I simply declare 4 more variables. So now these are 4 more variables, which is most important variables. So come on the top and simply type here int. Then you can give any name, variable name. I give the current question. Then I give the name current option A, current option B, then current option C, then current option D. So now I will tell you what is the working of these variables and how it work and how all code works. So let's see. So whenever our app runs, first of all we have to display our first question, and 4 options correspond to that question. So our first question contain on the 0 index. So as I already tell you, by default the index value is 0. So how can I set our current question onto our text view? So first of all, as you see, I declare 4 variables which hold the 4 option and the current question. So I simply use that variable. So I simply type here current question, and here you can see current question equal, then I simply use my index of my array, and my array name is question bank. So I simply type here question bank, then insert in double brackets, simply pass your current index variable. So by default current index variable what contains 0. So it can automatically fetch the question from 0 index, and then type dot get question ID. And what is this? This is our getters. So here you can see in my answer class Java, I create 6 variables: get option A, get option B, get option C, get option D, get question ID. So it return the current question ID. So how this work? Now again let's see the logic. Whenever this code run, first of all it fetch the question from current index. So what is the current index? 0. So code goes here. So when code goes here, it automatically call the constructor, and after calling the constructor it pass 6 thing, and it pass 6 thing where? In these variables. Then we use these getter to fetch the values. And how we use these function? We use these function by dot get question ID and by dot get option A, option B, like this. So hopefully you understand everything how this work. And now what we have to do? We have to simply set that question onto our text view. So our text view name is question. So I simply type here question dot set text. Then inside double bracket simply pass your variable, and our variable is current question, which hold the current question, and that's it. Now you can see our first question implemented successfully, and in this way I have to implement our other 4 options. So I simply type here current option A equal, then I have to access value from our array question bank equal current index here, then dot. Now I have to get option A, that's it. Now I have to set this option onto our option A text view. So our option A text view name is option A dot set text, then and inside this simply pass your current option A variable. So hopefully understand everything how this complete logic work, and it is very easy and you can do it by on. So I simply first copy this code, Control C, then I paste it 3 times, Control V, Control V, Control V, and this is option A, this is option B, and here I have to call the get option B getter, and on text view I have to simply replace it by B, and also I have to set this option on B text view. Now this is for C, this is also C, so and this is also C, and this is also C. Now the last one is D, so I simply type here current option D. So it's show an error, so let's see what is the error. So I give the wrong spelling of current here, so that's it. Now you can see the error is gone, current option D, and here I have to type current option D. Now after this, now our first question implemented successfully. Now what we have to do, whenever user press on any option, we have to update the question, and also we have to validate the answer, whether the answer is correct or not. So for this we have to set on click listeners on our options. So I assign the IDs into our text view, so option A, option B, option C, option D. So don't confuse between the current option A and option A. Option A is the text view and current option A hold the value of that particular option. So be remember this thing. Now I have to set on click listener on everything. So I simply type here option A dot set on click listener new, then space, then capital O, and press enter. Then automatically all code written by itself. Now simply copy this code and simply paste it 3 times because we have 4 options. So whenever user press on any option, we have to call 2 functions. So first I tell you what is the function, so first change it. So this is option B, this is option C, and this is option D. So user press on any function, user press on any button, we can say. So then we have to call 2 functions. Like after displaying first question and first option, now it's time to validate our answer, and after validating the answer, it's time to update our questions. So for this, I simply create a 2 function here. So simply I type here check answer. You can give any function name, I give check answer, and inside bracket, what you have to pass? You have to pass your current option. So what current option hold? Current option hold the option A value, current option A. If user press on option A, then we have to pass current option A to validate the answer. So this is capital Z, then semicolon. Now after this I have to call the update question function. So I will tell you how to create this function. So now first understand why I pass current option A here. So here you can see whenever this code run, current option A get the current index question, and of that particular question they get the correspond option A inside the current option A variable. And also by displaying that variable, or we can say that value on our text view, it's time to validate that answer. So I simply create a function of check answer, and in which I pass the current option A. So it automatically passed that value. So hopefully you understand everything. Now what you have to do, simply copy this code from here. So I simply copy this code, Control C, then I paste the code here, and also paste the code here, and also paste the code here. Now if user click on B, then I have to pass the current option B value. So this is capital B, and if user press on C, then I have to pass C, and if user press on D, then I have to pass D. Now these show an error, so let's create these 2 functions. So simply what you have to do, simply take your cursor on it and click on this red bulb and click create method update question, and now select main activity, and you can see it automatically create this function. Now we have to write the code inside this function. Now create one more function for check answer. Take your bulb here, create method and main activity, and you can see now it create the function. Now here I have to replace this. So here I have to give some different name, and here I give the variable name user selection. So it does not matter whether you user select any option, we have to store that value inside our user selection, and let last we verified it by our correct answer. So if user press on option B, then I will store that value in user selection. If user press on option D, then I will pass by option D and store into the user selection. So hopefully you understand everything, how this code flow work, and this is very easy code. You can easily understand it. Now let's see how to create update question work. So first of all, we have to validate our answer, whether the answer is correct or not. So before writing the code of validate answer, first I will tell you how to update the question. Inside our update question, what you have to do? We have to simply display the next question, and the next question where is present on the next index. So what we have to do, we have to simply update our index. So simply type current index is equals to current index plus 1. Now let's see one more thing. If I do this, like if my quiz app contain 8 questions, then after some time, after running of the application, the current index value is going to be 9, and on that time the app will be going to be crash, because it will give you the array out of bound exception. So why it is this? Because I simply update the value, and if I continuously updating the value, after some time it definitely going to be array of out of bound index. So how to hold this value? So first of all, we have to store our current index by divide percent question bank dot length. Now let's see how this code flow work, and it never going to make our app crash, and never going to face that error array out of bound index. So let's see, if our current index is 1, then in this bracket the current index will be going to be changed 2. If 2% 8, the automatically answer is 2 again. And if 3%, 3, because percentage give the remainder, but if the numerator is small, then it also give the value as answer numerator. So if 4%, I will get 4. If 5%, I will get 5. Then like after 8 question, my quiz app contain 8 questions. So after on 8 question, 8%, I will get 0. So then you can see it again go on to the 0 index, and this is the beauty of this line. It never going to show the array out of bound index, because the index value is never cross the question bank length. Now after 8, if 8 plus 1, 9, 9%, again 1, then 10%, 1, 10%, again 2. So this circle is repeated infinite time, and our app nowhere going to crash, and it always run up until the question bank length. So hopefully you understand everything and how this work. So if current index, after updating the current index successfully, now it's time to update our question. So as I already declare 4 variables of current option A, current option B. So what I have to do, I simply copy this code from here. After copy this code from here, simply Control C, then come here and paste this code here. That's done. Now our question will be updated successfully. After this, what we have to do, simply we have to update our question number variable. So our question number variable is by default is store 1. The question number is equals to question plus 1, and that's done. And how many time we want to do question number work? So if question number less than question bank dot length, because we never want to display 9th question if our quiz app contain 8 questions only. So I use this if condition here. If question number contain less than or equal to value, then question bank dot length, then this code will work, otherwise it not. So this is the beauty of code. So I simply take 2 braces here, and I have to simply update the question number. So how can I update this? So my text view name is question number, so I simply type here question number dot set text, then the value of q1 variable, then I have to take a space, then combine a string. So I simply take in double quotes a backslash, then again plus, then I have to display my question length, question bank length, or we can say array length, and plus I have to display one more text like question. So now you can easily understand it how it works. Now after updating the question number, after updating the question, now it's time to update the score also. So before updating the score, first I simply set the text on the scoreboard. So simply I declare a variable of score type score dot set text, and inside this I simply pass in double quotes first score, then plus, then m score variable. Our m score variable hold the current score, then plus, then in double bracket simply take a slash, then your question bank length. So how our score work? 1 out of 8, 2 out of 8, 3 out of 8, like this. So question bank dot length. Now one more thing we have to do, we have to increment our progress bar, whether our question is correct or not, but we have to increment our question bar. So simply I type here progress bar dot increment progress by, and inside this we have to pass our variable, which is capital progress underscore bar, and that's done. Now our half of work is complete. Now maybe you're wondering why I type score dot set text here. I never check our answer whether it is correct or not. So you can see I simply display the score. I not update the score. Be remember, I update the score only whenever the answer get correct. So by default M score variable contains 0. So here you can see by default it contains 0. So I have to display every time score, not only the score when user get correct or not. I have to display every time, because I have to update question every time whether the user answer is correct or not. So I have to type this code here. So now let's write the code for our check answer function. So come inside this check answer function. So this is our check answer function. So here we have to verify our answer whether the answer of user is correct or not. So for this I simply declare one more variable of int correct answer, but you can type any name, then equal. Then what is this value contain? This variable contain the current answer of that particular question. So I simply type here question bank dot question bank, then 2 bracket, then current index. So by default current index contain 0. So as you see, whenever user press on any button, this check answer function get called and it pass the current option value. And what current option store? Current option store the value on which user press on any button. Like if user press on option A, then it will pass option A. If user press on option B, then it will pass option B. So like this. So we call this function, and after calling this function, first of all we declare another more variable which store the answer of that particular question inside our correct answer. And then what we have to do, we have to simply verify user selection and correct answer whether it is equal or not. And if it is equal, we have to simply increment the score. So hopefully you understand everything. And how we get the current answer? By get answer ID of getter, and this is the fine. So now I want to show one more thing. I already declared 2 text view, checkout 1, checkout 2, to show you whether the code, how it is work and how the code flow is work. So this is checkout 1 dot set text. So I will want to show you how this code works. So I simply type this checkout 1 set text user selection. So it will display the text which is, or we can say option, which is selected by the user. And checkout 2, what display? It display the correct answer of that particular question, and particular question answer store in correct answer variable, and you can see that's fine. Now if the answer is equal, or we can say if the answer is correct of user, then what you have to do? We have to simply verify it. So first of all, it's better to get the text from this text view. So I set the text on to these text views, so it is better to take the text. So I simply declare 2 strings, string m, and inside string m I simply store the value of checkout 1 dot get text to string trim, then semicolon. Now declare one more string, string n, equal checkout 2 dot get text to string trim. Now if m dot equals, inside bracket simply pass n. So you can compare this type of string like this, and if this is correct, then what we have to do, we have to simply toast the message of toast dot make text get application context. You can type this, or you can type main activity dot this, it is your choice. Now if the answer is right, then I simply have to display right, take a comma and type toast dot length short dot show. And also we have to increment our m score variable by 1. M score is equals to m score plus 1. That's done. Now inside else, what you have to do, if the answer is wrong, simply we have to display a toast of wrong. So, and we have to do nothing. So simply copy this toast from here, Control C and Control V. So I have to simply type here wrong. So hopefully you understand everything. If you have any query, you can comment down below. Now before writing more code, or we can say before writing in the dialog box, and we have to also write the code for our splash screen. So before writing the code, first check our app. For checking the application, I use debugging mode in my laptop. So I connect my phone and I press on run button, and you can see Gradle start building. So now the Gradle build successful, and you can see it installed the application in my phone. And here you can see our application installed successfully. And on the top of the application, on the running of the application, you can see the first question is displayed successfully. And the correct answer of this question is voice over internet protocol. So let's click on voice over internet protocol. So I click on this. So you can see it give me a toast of right. And now, as you already know, we take two text view. So the correct answer of this is voice over internet protocol, and the selected answer which is by the user is also voice over internet protocol. So this is the benefit of taking these two text views. Now the correct answer of this question is Java. So let us suppose I click on wrong. So I click on Swift. So you can see it displays a toast of wrong, and on the top of the text view you can see this is the Swift. I press Swift, and the correct answer of this question is Java, and the question number is also updated successfully, and the score is also incremented successfully. Now answer of this question is debugging. So you can see, so sorry for this mistake, the correct answer of this question is digitizing, and I press on debugging. So the answer is again wrong, and this is the fourth question. Now the correct answer may be 40 terabytes. So this is also wrong. The correct answer of this may be zip. So this is also wrong. So what is our channel name? So our channel name is Tech Projects. So you can see this is right answer, and now it worked fine. So our quiz app application worked fine. So now let's click on go to last question, and also progress bar implemented successfully. Can I reach on the last of the question? So now what I have to do? So let us suppose, and you can see after reaching on the last question, it automatically display the first question again. But the question number is not updated to 0, and the progress bar also set to null. And also we don't display progress dialog box where user can select whether he want to exit the game or restart the game. So let's implement these features. Now our almost 90% quiz app is complete. So now what we have to do? We have to simply add a dialog box, and also we have to add a splash screen, and also we have to add an icon. So let's start. Come inside the code. So when I have to display the dialog box, so whenever current index again go to the 0, then we have to show a dialog box. It means the game is get finished. So I simply take an if condition here. If current index equal 0, then what I have to do? I simply use that case. So if current index equal 0, then I have to simply pass here alert dialog, then alert dialog dot builder, then alert equal new alert dialog. It can help to create the object of this type, alert dialog dot builder, and inside bracket simply pass this, then take a semicolon. Now simply type alert title. So you can give any title, it is your choice. So I simply pass your title in double quotes. I simply type here game over. That's done. Now after setting the title, now maybe you're wondering why I set current index 0. So maybe you think by default the current index is also 0. So whenever I update question function call, it automatically get called so first time. So you can see here I update the index first, then I call this function if current index equal 0. So don't confuse. Now after setting the title, now what I have to do? I have to set the message alert dot set cancelable and pass it false. Now this is type of function like no one press on any button, so this work when. Then type alert dot set message, and inside the message you have to type what I have to type. I have to display my score. So first of all I simply give a message of your score. Then after this I have to combine the string, so I take plus, then I have to display the variable value of which is mscore, then I take plus again, then in double quotes I simply type here points. So you can type any message, it is your choice. Now take a semicolon here. Now after this I have to set two buttons, for positive button and also negative button. So alert dot set positive button, and inside this first of all you can give any message, like if I type here close application. So if user press on this button close application, then what I have to do? I have to simply close the application. Now take a comma and type new, then type dialog, then press enter, and you can see it automatically write the code for us. Now what you have to do, simply add a semicolon here, and inside this what I have to do? I have to simply call the function. So which function? Finish. So what I have to do after click on close application, I have to simply close my application. So I simply call here finish. It close my application. Now I have to set a negative button. So press enter first here. Now type alert dot set negative button, and inside bracket simply first you have to give a message. So I type no, yes, then take a comma, then type new dialog interface on click listener. Inside this, if user press on no, then what I have to do, I have to set my score to 0, and also I have to change my question number to 1. And also what I have to do, I have to display a question number line again, and also I have to set progress bar dot set progress and pass inside simply 0. And I have to display the by default 0 score, and also by default 0 score text view. So what you can do, you can simply copy this line from here, score dot set text. So by default score dot set text contains 0, so it automatically get work. And also I have to display the question number line, so I can simply use this question number dot set question set text, Control C, and simply paste this line here. That's done. So now our quiz app is finally ready. Now what we have to do, we have to simply add a splash screen, and also we have to add our icon to our application. So first of all, for adding the icon, simply open your activity main XML file. So if you don't open activity main XML file, we can't able to set the icon. So now click on file, and now come inside new. Then here you have to select image asset. So you can set any image, it is your choice. So it is completely depend on you which type of icon you want to select. By default this icon is selected, so I select path from here. So my icon inside local disk D, so you can see this is logo, so I select it. Now I click on OK, and this logo is implemented successfully. So you can use any logo, it is your choice. Now click on next. Now simply click on finish. Now one thing we have to do, we have to remove this set text. Also we have to remove set text, but we can't remove this because this is the set text help to validate our answer whether the answer is correct or not. So what we can do, we can simply set the visibility of this set text. So you can simply type here visibility and gone. That's done. Now the second text you can also simply type this line. After setting this text views are not aware on our layout, but it's still working in the behind. So this is the benefit of using visibility gone. And now these two show warnings. So let's click on this. So you can see you already know why these are warning, because we can't use any text without describing inside our XML file, or we can say string file. So I click on this and I simply click on extract string resources. So it automatically creates the string. So I click on OK. That's done. You can see it automatically creates the string inside the strings file. Now do the same thing with this. Now this extract string resources. Now click on OK. That's done. Now come inside main activity, and now let's see one more warning. And you can see it say we can't display the text using set text, and we can't concatenate the text with set text. So what you can do, you can simply click on this line add suppress int. So now click on this add separate text int, and you can see the warning is gone, and every warning is gone. Now what is this warning? And this warning is just we can't divide the integer division in float point one text. So it is not possible to remove this warning, so leave this warning for now. And you can also remove this, but it is your choice whether you want to remove this or not. So I completely leave it on you how to remove this warning. So now last thing is left, how to set a splash screen for our application. So for this, first we have to create a new activity. So click on Java, expand your Java folder. Now right click, then new, then select activity and select empty activity. Now give any name to your application, or we can say activity. So I simply give splash. Now click on finish. Now this activity created successfully. So come inside activity splash XML file and now click on split. So first of all I have to add a background which I want on my application. So you can add any background, or you can design splash according to your own choice. So I simply type here Android background, and I can simply use my image. So you can see if one image is present on desktop, so I simply copy this image from here. So I right click, then I simply copy this image. After copy, open my Eno Studio again, and then come inside your source folder, then come inside drawable, right click on drawable, then simply click on paste, and now click on OK. And you can see now it comes successfully here. So I simply give the image name. So my image name is splash. So you can see now it's working fine. Now I have to simply write the code inside our splash screen, splash activity. So what we have to do, first of all we have to remove the title. So already we removed the action bar in our first part of the tutorial, so we don't need to remove action bar. We can simply remove the title. So simply type request window feature, and inside this you have to type window dot feature no title, and that's done. Now what you have to type, you have to type this dot get window, and inside bracket simply type first set flags, and inside bracket simply type window manager dot layout params dot flag full screen. Now take a comma, then again type window manager dot layout params dot flag full screen, and it will help to remove our action bar, or it will help to remove our title bar. Now one thing I want to tell you, we have to write this code before this line. So cut this line from here and paste above the set layout, because we have to remove the title bar first and then we have to display our activity. So now what you have to do, we have simply going to create a function. So first of all, I simply create an object of any type. So I simply type here logo, then I give the name logo, object name, then new, then logo. Then I simply call this function. So I simply type here logo dot start, and it automatically calls this object. So let's create this logo class, or we can say logo function. So let's see how to create this class. So first of all, what you have to come and sub below this bracket and simply type here private. Then I give the name logo, but you can give any name. Then what you have to type, first type class keyword, then your name, my name is logo, then extends, and inside simply type thread. Now inside this, what you have to do, call and run functions. So simply type here public void, it does not return anything. Now inside this, what you have to use, we have to use try class block. So simply type try, then take two braces, and simply inside this simply type sleep and your time, for how much time you want your activity. So 1000 mean 1 second, but you can pass anytime, it is your choice. So this is showing error, so because by mistake I add an extra bracket here and also an extra bracket here. So I have to come in outside from this bracket and simply type here catch. Then what I have to type, I have to type interrupted exception and E. Then E dot print stack trace, then semicolon. Now after this, if this happens successfully, then we have to open our main activity after the splash screen. So come outside from catch block and simply type, for what are you using for moving one activity to another activity, intent. So simply type intent, any name intent equal new intent, inside bracket simply pass your activity name, which is current activity or splash, then dot this, then where we want to go, our main activity dot class, then semicolon. Now simply type start activity, and inside bracket simply pass intent. Then after opening the main activity, we want to our splash screen activity end, because if someone press on back, then we want to end our activity splash screen activity. Simply type splash dot this dot finish, that's done. Now we have to make one more change inside our manifest file. So come inside your manifest file, so expand your manifest folder and come inside your manifest file. So here you can see this is our main activity and this is our splash screen activity. So what we have to do, we have to set a priority. By default the priority is set to our main activity, so we have to set the priority on our splash screen activity. So you can simply cut this line from here, Control X, and simply paste the line here, and simply cut this activity word from here, Control X, and simply paste the word here. That's done. Now our complete quiz app is ready. Now it's time to check our finalized quiz app. So I again press on run button and you can see Gradle start building. So you can see application installed successfully, and I come on home screen and you can see this is our quiz tutorial by the name of quiz tutorial. So I open it, and first I have to clear from recent. Now I again click on it. So you can see it splash screen appear works successfully, and now I am displaying the first question and the progress bar. Now I select Y as our internet protocol, and you can see score incremented successfully and it worked fine. So I come on to the last question, and after clicking on the last question, our dialog box is not appear. So let's see what is the possible problem why our dialog box is not appearing. So let's see. So come inside our main activity, and where we write the code, inside our update question. So the main problem is that after creating the alert dialog, I forget to show that dialog. So simply type here alert.show. So this is the silliest mistake done by me. So now our quiz app is finally ready, and now again press on run button and you can see Gradle start building. Now Gradle built successful, and here you can see our application is work fine, and if I click on close application, then it closed the application. I open my quiz tutorial app again, and Now I simply click on this, and if I click on no, by default the question number set to 1 and score set to 0 and progress bar set to null, and this is first question. So hopefully you understand everything. If you have any query, you can simply comment down below. I try to give the answer of every comment. Please like the video and subscribe my channel for latest update. Soon I will try to upload the WhatsApp clone. So I am serious. If you give me some support, and if you definitely give me some support, then I will soon try to bring the WhatsApp clone. So please like the video and subscribe my channel for latest update. Thank you. See you soon in next video. Please give me some support to my videos and share these videos with your friend. So thank you. See you soon in next video.